Hello, I'm Maddie Hale and this is Mad World. Welcome to 2024, the year the world goes insane. 2 billion people go to vote, the US puts itself on the brink of another civil war, and we all get to watch it through our phones. That is, until TikTok gets banned for good. This week is deja vu. Once again, the race for the White House is a psychopath versus an old age pensioner. I'll be joined throughout the show to make sense of all this by the Telegraph's Poppy Coburn and YouTube sensation Archie Manners. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thanks.
Welcome.
So it looks like Donald Trump has the Republican nomination sewn up again. Ron DeSantis has dropped out, endorsing Trump on his way out. It's third time lucky for Trump, but for a lot of US Republicans, he really is a gift from God.
And on June 14th, 1946, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker, so God gave us Trump. I need somebody with arms, strong enough to rustle the deep state, and yet gentle enough to deliver his own grandchild. To have somebody willing to go into the den of vipers, call out the fake news for their tongues as sharp as a serpent's. So God made Trump.
I'll start with you, Poppy. What did you think of this?
I mean, that's such a potent image, isn't it? The idea of Donald Trump kind of guiding his grandchildren down the birthing canal. There's something really visceral about that. And then also at the same time, maybe with another arm, wrestling off, Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. It's just brilliant. I've really been loving the energy of the Trump campaign ads. I'll never forget 2016, probably the most fun year of my life, and not just because I was younger and I had more money. I had such a good time looking at these.
People call Poppy.
All of these campaign ads, they're quite comedic. They're kind of like, I mean, obviously, like the rhetoric behind it is like the Democrats are coming to kill you, but there's kind of like funny music in the background, and now they're kind of like slow. They remind me a bit of Oppenheimer. They're kind of like black and white, or have like an old-timey voice in the background. But then like the language that's coming out is just like, yes, and Donald Trump will like deliver your firstborn and hold it up and kiss its forehead like the Pope.
I mean, no one does a campaign ad like Trump. Like
it's bizarre, but I mean, it's the sort of bit of the Book of Genesis we didn't know we needed until now. You know, on the seventh day there was light, on the eighth day there was Donald Trump. I don't know if I can swear, it's nuts. I mean,
we'll beep it out.
Who's making this stuff? Is there someone genuinely? Because what's amazing about that advert is someone's actually spent time writing it and making it.
No, but that's AI, right? Sure, that voice sounds like kind of like weirdly robotic.
It does, but
Donald Trump just
maybe going, guys, come over here. What I got? Yeah, it's done. It's gone.
I don't even think he even senses it. I think he looks at these ads and goes, "Put it up."
But do you think Trump
thinks you're never going to watch
it? Does Trump believe it? Do you think Trump believes? I mean, because we've seen loads of videos of Trump supporters saying he is basically God. You know, Jesus was going to come back. We all knew that from 2,000 years ago. Amazingly, he's got a wig and orange skin. But do they believe it? Does Trump believe it? Do you think he thinks he's from...
Yes. No, look, I'm sorry. If you are literally going through the most existential battle of your life, you're like, if I don't win this, I'm going to jail.
And also,
I would be like up there all the time, being like, you really got to vote for me. Maybe I am Jesus.
I've got to pardon myself.
Yeah, seriously. Like the stakes are so much higher this time. So that's why all the campaign ads are like mega serious. But they're still so funny, I feel like, to us, because we look at that and it's like clearly meant to be played for a bit of sincerity. But it's just hilarious.
But what do you guys think, coming from two Brits? I mean, and I'm obviously Australian. Our election, the way we campaign in the UK and Australia...
Can you imagine Starmer doing that?
Starmer coming from God.
Yeah, can you imagine Starmer being like...
Underwhelming return of the Messiah.
He's like, I'm wrestling the age of austerity with one hand, and I'm raising you up to a sure start centre with the other. Like, you just can't imagine
I mean, Rishi Sunak could take a leaf out of Trump's book when it comes
his arms are very, very small.
Let's get his polls up. We'll move on. Rivals have been dropping out from all sides to endorse Trump since the Iowa caucus last week, including Vivek Ramaswamy, whose deep love for Trump has become pretty one-sided. Trump attacked him just before he dropped out, saying that Vivek is not MAGA, but that hasn't stopped Vivek's love-in for the former president.
We are going to suspend this presidential campaign. And earlier tonight, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I congratulated him on his victory, and now going forward, he will have my full endorsement.
Why do you think former President Trump threw you under the bus over the weekend?
Well, I didn't get thrown anywhere, but I think there might have been an attempt to do that. I'd say that it's partly because of what
you were under the bus.
Well, look, I'd say what Elon Musk and others are saying.
The bus had snow tires on it.
I love that little pause.
Did he get thrown under the bus?
Well, did you hear that little pause where it's like, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I and you're like, he's going to say I love you?
I love you. Yeah.
There was something weirdly sensual about that.
It is. I think he does fancy Trump, probably.
I know he must.
does.
Well, that's the only way you could deal with that sort of treatment. You know, when you're like completely obsessed with someone, they can do no wrong.
Well, yeah.
Even when he's on Truth Social being like, this guy's a complete like rube, he's an
But that's
idiot.
negging. This
it
is
is,
the ultimate
is.
neg, I think. I think Trump's going, oh, I don't really like you,
He's like his little brother. He's treating Vivek like his little brother. He's like, thanks these little people for running in the race, but I mean, we know who's going to win. It's
You saw
going to
that
be me.
concession when like Vivek's like, I'm stepping down, I'm endorsing Trump, and Trump kind of like hugs him and he's like, you're my special boy.
Yeah.
You know, you're my boy, you're coming back in. But Vivek's like, really?
But is he going to be, sorry.
Sorry, also.
Is he going to be vice president?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do we think that's what he wants?
Is he going to be Trump's number 2? That's presumably what he wants. But I don't get why you'd want to be vice president. Because, I mean, unless Trump dies, which he's not, because as we know, he's got the health of
Very
he's going to live till he's 200.
Very powerful.
As we've seen
200 years
as
old.
we've seen from his report.
Yeah. From his official doctor, he's going to live forever. Vice president's just opening, isn't it?
But at the same time, he has no political experience. So if he goes from 0 to 100...
Oh, come on, lend it to Trump, and he did a great job.
Well, yeah, he's campaigning for Trump.
But if it is vice president, he's just going to come to the Oval Office for Donald's massage time. And then go back upstairs.
And that's all we can hope for.
And that's
That's
probably
all
what
he
Donald
wants.
wants. Yeah.
He gets to follow
him around.
Donald Trump around for 4 years.
Well,
What
it's just
more?
this is full-on massive
Well, I feel like he ran the campaign, he got up on the debate stage and he basically just wanted to say, Donald Trump, I love you.
Yeah.
Like every time people were questioning him about like, why are you running for president again? You can almost see like, am I? Like,
You know what, it's going to make the State of the Union address have a whole new meaning, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I mean, like,
They're
money
not really
well
getting
spent,
married.
you know? If it,
Well, we know
thanks
that he'll
Trump.
be in New Hampshire this week and he'll be expressing his love on the stage for Trump. And I think everyone's going to be like, okay.
And DeSantis will be at the side kind of weeping. Just like,
But this is
can
good.
I
because
join in?
I think Melania is stepping back from kind of public life. You're seeing less
Yeah.
and less of her.
Yeah.
So we do need someone to look after Trump and
We do need a partner in crime.
Yeah, genuinely.
A new
kind of
wife, a new first lady.
Exactly, a new first lady. It just happens to be Vivek, but that's 2024 for you.
Yeah,
And that would be progressive.
It's actually incredibly woke.
Yeah.
He's got a gentleman looking after him.
That's true.
Good on
And-
Donald. Well done.
And now it's a 2-horse race. Trump and his former UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, the Republican establishment, are behind her, but Trump now wants to tie her to a very familiar figure on the other side of the aisle. It's a classic campaign technique from Trump, and it's a pretty horrifying picture. Poppy, what did you think of this when you saw this image?
That is like classic prime Donald Trump. Kind of like he's there in a Photoshop and he's just like, this is going to get her. Like, this is going to get her to drop out. I mean, look, there's one person who's not going to be becoming the next first lady, and that's Nikki Haley. I mean, you can see Nikki Haley absolutely despises Trump. And of course, the only reason she gets that UN Secretary General position is the one that was given to her by Donald Trump. You know, she's actually put in place in the Trump White House.
And he'll say, you owe me.
Well, yeah, pretty
You
much.
owe me, drop out.
But he's like the godfather. I mean, this is what he says to Ron DeSantis. He's like, I made you. You know, I
Yeah.
made you. And then you've got like, obviously Vivek Ramaswamy as his loyal attack dog / boyfriend. At the debates, right? He's got his little card, and what he writes on it, he just writes Nikki Haley, traitor, and he's kind of got this grin on his face. He's like holding up, and he's like, "Can you see, Donald? Can you see what I'm doing?" You know, he loves it.
I think Nikki Haley is going to be a good answer to a pub quiz question in about a
Yes.
year's time. I don't
Yeah.
think none of us will ever. It's such a boring name, right? Nikki Haley. It sounds
Donald
like,
Trump can't even pronounce
But
it.
I think she has surprised a lot of people in the sense that she's
because she's she's got all these people giving loads of money to kind of boost her up, and still not winning. But I honestly, I on a year's time, it's one of those names I can't be bothered to remember. I don't think it's worth the brain power to recall her name. She's going to be nothing.
She's not even hateable in the way that like Hillary was. Like she's not wooden in the way that Hillary really
But
was.
that's the thing is that like he probably knows that. Trump probably knows
Exactly.
that, and
Like,
hence why he's
imagine
mashing
being
their
like,
faces
you don't
together.
even square up to Hillary Clinton. I can't think of a more devastating insult than like, you're worse than Hillary.
Any diehard Trump fan despises Hillary Clinton. She is public enemy number one. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Crooked Hillary. Crooked
Crooked
Hillary.
Hillary. And then
Yeah.
obviously crooked Joe Biden. He's been using that
Sleepy
word.
Joe.
Well, he's sleepy.
He's sleepy.
Bless him.
Which I have to say, whether you like Trump or hate Trump, he's bloody phenomenal at nicknames. I mean, the guy's ability to ruin someone's entire character in 2 words.
I know.
It's
And
legendary.
off the cuff, I will say.
What's Nikki Haley needs to get her own little nickname. Although maybe that's the real insult. It's like,
Or
you're not
everyone
even
else.
worthy
yeah,
of it.
I think it's you're not
I don't
even big
think
enough for a
about
nickname. You don't even
I
get a
I
nickname.
don't even think about you.
Yeah.
He's not threatened. He's like, we'll move on.
Sticky
We'll
Nicky.
move on. Now, the Biden campaign have had their fingers crossed for a Trump rematch, but will they come to regret this? One fervent Biden supporter from last time round is now firmly in Trump's camp.
When I started voting at the age of 18, I asked my parents what to vote for. They told me Democrat, and so I voted Democrat because they told me to. I'm so blessed that at the age of 23, I've come to this conclusion and I'm not out here supporting demonic things like the LGBT and abortion. I'm no longer a feminist. I respect my husband. I submit to him. And I'm content with that place. I cannot wait for us to be fruitful and multiply because that's my purpose on this earth.
What did you think of this, Archie?
It's one of the greatest comedy creations ever written. That actor is fantastic, and whoever wrote it deserves some kind of BAFTA. It's brilliant.
That's a real life
person.
He must have taken it on a really nice date or something.
A real voter.
It's a young woman saying, "I subject to my husband."
Yes, this is the
the
age
problem
we
with
live
the
in.
mental health crisis in America. I mean, that's.
I kind of love this. I think this is a great argument to just lowering the voting age even younger. I mean, she sounds like such a well-informed person. She's like, at 18, I just followed what my mum said. Now my boyfriend, he tells me what to say, and I'm like, sure, why not? You know, that's
That is nuts.
But I love the hat. The hat's coming back in style.
But I do wonder if this is going to be a bit of a recurring thing for November, that the younger generation is...
So are we going to get influencers for Trump now?
Oh, God, yeah.
Are they paid? Is it like, I really like Trump, I subject to my husband, #ad?
Yeah.
Or is it...
Well, I mean, we've got, obviously, Hollywood is campaigning for Biden.
Yeah,
they're out
they
doing
need
that.
to counteract it with people who
Trump
ordinarily
Teens for
sell...
Trump. Teens for Trump. That's
Teens
going
for
to be
Trump.
the next big thing.
I don't know
TikTok
how
for
big,
Trump.
how
kind
big
of
it will get.
turkeys for
In
Christmas.
between teeth whitening adverts, we're going to get pro-Trump stuff. Absolutely
Mike
crazy.
Hello.
And HelloFresh. Trademarked.
Yeah, but while we're cooking up this lovely HelloFresh, have you tried
Student
building a
debt
wall?
crisis has got so bad under Biden, they're now having to go forward for Trump because it's just like, please just cancel all of our debt. I'll say anything.
I do think it will be one of these situations because it's obviously a rematch. I think, I mean, if I was in America, if I was an American voter, I would say, oh God, I'm so bored.
Well, my worry is because the first one between Biden and Trump there were parts of it that were incredibly funny.
Yeah.
But I think the writers now, season 2 obviously, it's a classic kind of, are they going to be able to keep it up? Is it going to be
They've jumped the
entertaining?
shark. You know?
I'm a bit worried this is going to end up not being as funny as entertaining as the first one.
And that would be a crying shame for us.
All of us. Well, we've been
for
able to
all
job.
of us, for the show, for Mad World.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, most of us watch American politics not because we care, because it's very entertaining.
Yeah.
So I want Biden's team and Trump's team to really think about how they're going to play this and make us laugh a lot. really, really think about season 2, guys.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot happening. Obviously, I mean, we're not covering it today, but we will get into it eventually about Biden versus the teleprompter, Biden versus the stage, the general stage.
Biden versus living, Biden versus walking, Biden versus staying awake, you know.
Trump's insults. I mean, Trump quite literally getting up on stage and telling a crowd of his supporters, hey, this is how Biden gets off stage, and mimicking him
unbelievably
trying
funny.
to get off stage.
It is unbelievably
Who
funny.
would do that?
Guy's a great comedian. And like any comedian, he sometimes crosses the line. You know, when he started mocking a disabled reporter, that wasn't funny. But lots of comedians have done things and said things where they've pushed the boundary. He's a great stand-up.
He gets away with it a lot. I mean, like the one that I always remember is the one where he was like, she's bleeding out of her eyes, she's bleeding out of her, you know, whatever. It's kind of innuendo.
Who is right? It's kind of just like, does he have any speechwriters?
No,
I genuinely don't
because
think
they
so.
couldn't capture the magic. He does those debates. Like he'll go up on stage to like 10,000 of his supporters. He'll speak no notes for 4 hours, and it's the funniest thing.
I think he does have
seen.
speechwriters, and they're probably the most depressed people in America. Because he gets up and someone's written this speech.
I know.
And he'll do the first 2 lines. Good evening, welcome to Pennsylvania, I'm Donald Trump. And then ignore the rest of it. And there are these poor men and women backstage going, I spent 10 hours on this. It's really good material. And Trump's just going, that, I'm not reading a word of it.
And it's a stark contrast to, I mean, obviously, we've got our flashcards here. If you've actually seen the zoom-in photos of Biden orchestrating a speech or orchestrating an...
Yeah, it's like blink now.
It is in such detail. Turn to XYZ and ask them a question. And then you have the reporters zooming in.
Are we going to have debates this year? Please let there be debates.
There will definitely be debates.
Like, will Donald Trump actually turn up? Will Joe Biden wake up on time? Like, I need to see them on the same.
I want people to talk more about Joe Biden's Botox. That's something I've not read about. That man's face, if you look at him throughout the year, that man's face is so plastic. If he goes
kind of lost. I was going to say, you've kind of lost the battle at that point. With
I think Plastic Joe would be a good name. I think I want to go Trump going for his Botox.
He's 81 years old.
He doesn't look it, though. He acts it.
You know, Trump's only a couple of years younger. And he looks like he's strong.
That is true. And because people always laugh about the way Trump, you know, speaks about Biden's age. And I always say, okay, just listen carefully because he never says his age. He never says Biden is too old. He always says Biden acts too old or Biden does X, Y, Z because he's smart enough to be like, I'm going to be 80. He's 77 or 78. Yeah. He's going to be 80. If he wins, he'll be 80 in the White House.
Yeah, but he's living to 200. So it's all relative.
Yeah.
So in reality, he's basically a 40-year-old.
He's got the Queen's doctor.
Yeah.
Next on Mad World, the TikTok trend that could get you shot. As a Texas police force are warning that knocking on strangers' doors and running away could put you at risk of death. This clip has been doing the rounds online.
no trades on the door.
Guys, we've all played Knock and Run.
I was going to say, it's like extreme trick and treat, isn't it? Except where the trick involves your death.
We've all played this game.
You wouldn't play it in America, though, would you?
Well, apparently not, because the Texas police force basically came out and said, you need to stop playing Knock and Run. I don't know, you guys call it something else, but we call it Knock and Run in Australia.
Stop being a prat, I think. Actually, in this country, it's genuinely illegal. You are not. It is against the law.
It's probably some like weird Victorian law.
It's a weird Victorian law. If you ring the
that.
doorbell, you have to wait for it to be on. You're not allowed to leave. It's one of those laws I think is unlikely to be. You're not going to be in prison. What did you do? I murdered 4 people. What did you do?
I knocked on the door.
It's unlikely to get you.
The stakes are higher in America, and they're very much higher in Texas.
Yes.
Where
everybody's armed to the teeth, more guns than people. I don't know, there's something almost like weirdly brave but also completely mad about this because they didn't even seem to be filming it. It's not even like I'm going to go viral on TikTok with this. It's literally just
it's a ring doorbell.
It's just like...
it's a doorbell footage.
Yeah.
Which I love. This new thing of everyone having a doorbell with video means you get so much entertaining stuff people don't realise they're being filmed.
But isn't it quite sweet? It's just like everybody is on their phone all the time now and it's just nice to see kids returning to what they do best, which is to really irritate literally everybody around
That is
them.
an excellent point. It's good to see people off their phones.
It's not the first time they've been doing stuff like this though, because I remember a couple of years ago, the knockout game. Do you remember that?
No.
It was going viral. It was really crazy. It was people going up to like random shoppers in a supermarket and basically just knocking them out and then filming it and going, the knockout game. And of course, the knockout game kind of stopped as a trend when someone pulled out a gun and shot them. So as with all trends, it ended with a bang.
It's not quite as good as the ice water challenge or something.
The ice bucket
ASL ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, I remember it well. Did you even do it?
No, of course.
Neither did I.
I deleted Facebook. I was like, you're not tagging me. I'm not doing it.
Oh, God, I hated when people would tag you and be like, I'm not going to reshare this. Let's be honest.
No.
I've got better things to do.
Myself.
I'm 21. I'm going out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, every time I see those like doorbell footage, I'm always just like something horrible is about to happen.
But normally it's defecating.
Yeah.
Like, I often see ones where it's
nicking a package.
Yeah, it's like packages get stolen or someone just having a poo outside your front door. That happens. I've seen that. That's shocking.
Oh, there was one the other day where a postman arrived. This is obviously in Australia, and the doorbell cam got the postman putting the package down, and then this huge snake coming out of nowhere, obviously only in Australia. And then the postman gets rid of the snake and goes and writes a note saying, I've got rid of this snake for you. Have a good day.
It's kind of cute. Like every country has its own little response to these trends. Like America, you'll be shot.
Yeah.
In Australia, a poisonous snake will kill you. In the UK, a bully XL will maul you to death.
Yeah, so a strongly worded letter.
We've all got our different national responses
all got
to
our
the
thing.
prank.
Well, on that note, if you are a Brit or an Australian in the US and you've ever felt misunderstood, this one is for you.
One, I had a person come up to me and say, considering that I'm European, my English is really good. And when I told them that that was because I'm from England, they said, yeah, but his friend is European and he speaks way worse English than I do. And his friend was from France. Someone asked me, oh, you're from the UK, so that's like Australia, right? And I said, no, that's like the UK. She then said, are those two things not the same thing? When I told my friend that I lived in a village, I had to then convince him for the next hour that a village is not just from Minecraft, and I wasn't messing with him that villages actually existed in the outside world.
I kind of wonder if they were like, you know, when you're in this country, you've got to speak English or just go home. You know, the classic American thing is just like...
Have you seen these kind of videos online? Of people,
you see lots of Americans being stupid, yes. That is basically the internet.
I don't know, I just feel like people forget where the word English comes from. They're just like, because English in their mind is just, it's like our language. It's
their
American.
Yes, we've saw
It's American, but it's got a really funny name and I'm not sure where it comes from.
I do love when these, I mean, it's always at colleges, these videos saying like, I'm going to a US university, this is what people ask me, I don't understand, and they say the weirdest stuff or whatever, but I do think it's so funny to say, but my European friend speaks broken English.
Well, Americans don't know where anything is outside of America, because loads of them don't go outside of America. Only 10% of them have passports or something.
You don't have to. It's not like living in
this.
this country where the weather's rubbish all the time. Like you can kind of get everything you want.
You can go skiing and sunbathing all in the same day.
Well, I think that's what they think. They think this is the land of the free. Why would I ever want to leave? You can't.
I don't want to hear about you losers in Europe. You know, like you should be grateful that you're here. You need to be integrating quicker.
Come play knock and run in Paris. See how it goes,
Come knock on a doorbell with us. You know,
let's go get some. Oh, it does make me laugh because I was saying off air that they have the TikTok, those TikToks of like, I'm in Australia or I'm in XYZ and here's the difference. The main thing about the Australian one is, I can't believe it. They shut their cafes at 3 p.m. Where do you get a coffee? And it's like the most highly complained thing from people who are visiting. I'm like, go see the Harbour Bridge.
Why do they shut the cafes at 3 o'clock? It's appalling.
It's just a thing.
No, that's a terrible thing. I'm sorry. I'm completely on the side of the TikTokers.
It's a start early, finish early kind of atmosphere. You go to the beach, you
It's
come
like the
home.
UK. It's like here, where everybody complains when the pub's shut at 9. It's
Which
just
I-
like, I can't
that is one of the worst
This
things
is an
I've
ever-
outrage. You know, this is a breach of my human rights.
It is. I got kicked out of a pub last night at 9 after the pub quiz.
Is that normal?
Is
for
that
you?
because
Well,
you
it
were
was Sunday.
doing
I mean, like, I quite on Sunday. You have Sunday lunch, then you go for a little lie down, then you go
9
back.
p.m.? I haven't experienced that
And
yet.
they were like, "Excuse me, you want to leave?" I was like, "No." Don't.
Did they say that
I
to
know
other
the
people,
laws.
or
It's
was it
11
just
o'clock.
you?
You have a license till 11 o'clock. Stay open. That and Sunday trading laws. If you get me on that, really.
yeah,
I can't go
well,
shopping. I can't go to a supermarket after 5 o'clock in this country.
You seem like you
5
used to go to
PM.
America.
5 p.m. You can't go to Tesco's or Waitrose or anywhere. Waitrose mainly, but you can't go. And
yeah.
that is
Stop pretending you
No,
shop at
I'll do my
Tesco.
whole like, I'm not telling you.
No,
It's really hard to go to an Aldi after 5 o'clock. I have heard.
That's all from us on Mad World this week. Thanks to Archie and Poppy, and thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.